Hello, my name is Mike Hodgson. I'm the CEO of Serabi Gold, and I'm here at the one-to-one mining investment conference in London on the 15th of May. I'm pleased to give you an update of what's happening with Serabi.
That's the most professional one we've had yet. Thank you. Thank you. How's it going at the conference? Busy?
We've had a very full day yesterday, meeting some of our old friends, old shareholders, and some new potential investors, hopefully, and a few analysts, hopefully, to get involved with the story. So, yeah, good.
Okay. And you're rushing off tonight to head off to Brazil?
I'm going to Brazil tonight, yes.
Fantastic. Okay, and you're going to tell us...
Not on holiday, working.
I know, and you're going to tell us about some of the quite important meetings that you're going to have over there as well, okay? And you to clear something up for me, though, right? There's a little bit of chatter, maybe even a little bit of confusion out there with regards to permits, okay? A statement was made that it's kind of all quiet on the permitting front. What's actually happening?
Yeah, a little bit confusion, but there shouldn't be any confusion, really. What we're doing and have been doing for the last sort of 18 months, 2 years, is working our way towards an installation license. This installation license is going to allow us to build the process plant at Coringa.
Right.
Now, everybody, I think, who has been listening to you and me talking about this, we kind of left that plan behind about sort of 18 months ago, because obviously when the road got paved and the trucking costs came down and we found this fantastic amenability of the Coringa ore body to ore sorting, we went down a different route. And we don't really have a plan to build the ore sorter, the process plant now.
Right.
You know, A, it's extremely expensive, and B, we don't really need to do it. Ore sorting and making a pre-concentrate is our plan. Now,
so are you still applying for it, though, because it might be valuable at some point down the line?
Yeah, of course. Look, we want the optionality to have the right to build the full plant down the track.
Right.
There's no need for us to be doing it in the short term.
It's not affecting your business today?
No. We have what's called a GU license. It's a mining license which we got in February this year for 3 years. And it has it's not a permanent license, but it's 3 years. Now, 3 years is a long time. And they get renewed. You can apply to renew these all the time.
Right.
At the moment, it's got a 50,000 tonne limit on it, which means, okay, that might sound a lot, but people need to remember, that's 50,000 tonnes post-ore sorting. So that's 100,000 tonnes coming out the mine, which is the mine plan at Coringa for the next 2 years. We've been invited to actually expand that to a 100,000 tonne limit, which will be 200,000 tonnes out.
By who?
The mining agency, the A&M. A&M, they're the mining agency. They're the guys that give you this permit. So with that will be more than we'd ever need, honestly. So the installation license to build the process plant, okay, we're nearly there. Few people remember that we actually were asked to actually do an additional level of environmental permitting called an indigenous study, which we did. It was actually submitted last week, and that's kind of the final part of the process to go to the Federal Agency for Indigenous Communities, which hopefully and that will be our pathway to getting the installation license. But as you quite rightly say, it's not going to change our business plan for the foreseeable future. When we get that license, we're not suddenly going to change our...
Okay, so it was like one of two options in terms of the way forward. So you applied for it. When you get it, it's great, but you're going to park it up. It has no bearing on your economic success going forward. This is all about getting ore out of the ground, sourcing it, trucking it, end of.
And we're completely permitted for that, and that's our plan for the coming forward. So
okay. And because I think it's an interesting thing. The environmental, obviously, that was something that's thrown at you. I think a lot of groups internally supporting you, saying you don't need to do it. You're made to do it. You're nearly there. So when can we actually expect the full certificate issued? And we
are obviously reliant on the government agencies to do this, and I can only take advice from legal counsel, which tell me this date and then another date and then another date. I am still of the hope. I mean, I think we're going to have some great news flow in Q3 this year. First of all, just to remind people, at Coringa, this whole new plan we're talking about with the which we've been talking about for 18 months or the last 12 months, which is basically mining, buying the crushing plant, the ore sorter, and sending a pre-concentrate to Palito plant, and just better utilising that plant at Palito and not building a plant at Coringa. We've talked about that, but what we don't have is a public document detailing that. So we're doing a new PEA at Coringa now. It's started. We're doing a new resource, a new reserve, and a PEA on that process flow sheet, which is just that.
Right.
That will come out in July, August this year, which will be great. We will get the ore sorter. Great news on that. The crushing plant is being renovated for Coringa. The ore sorter has already arrived. We're doing the civils. That'll be switched on and operating at the end of September this year. So our world will change in
Ramping
September.
Up from that.
The grade will just go from this 6 to 12 grams. It'll be amazing.
Okay, let me be really blunt. 2019, this was a super growth story. The stock kind of went from mid 30s up to sort of nearly 90. That's those sorts of levels from memory.
Yep.
I want to know, does this company get back to that kind of growth story? Because you've had COVID. We talked about the trials and trials of COVID in Brazil. We've talked about the environmental component being thrust upon you out of nowhere. But kind of they've kind of gone. I'm kind of feeling they're mostly gone now. Do you guys get back to the story that I kind of not fell in love with, but got really interested in back then? Fell in love with this. It's just too much, isn't it? Really, really liked back then. Is the ore sorter just the beginning of that?
I think people are going to be amazed what the ore sorter does. I'll be amazed. I know I will. I think it's going to be great. I think I think when people see the PEA coming in, they see that ore sorter working. They see in Q4 what it's really doing to the grades, and the grades then going into the Palito plant, and they'll see we are going to go from our current this year planned 38,000 ounces to 60,000 ounces in the next 2.5 years. We're funding all that growth out of cash flow. We're not looking for money. We can fund it ourselves, and we're just better utilizing the program with no capex at the Palito plant. That's the beauty about all this. It's a really cheap, capital light way of literally nearly doubling our production. And if we need to do a bit more capacity, and we do, because Palito at the end of the day is a 30,000 ounce mine, maybe 35, Coringa's a 40,000 ounce mine, we will get maxed out at 60,000 ounces by sending concentrated ore from Coringa to Palito and some pre-concentrated ore with ore sorting from Palito. We're kind of maxed at 60. We just take one of those ball mills that we actually had destined for Coringa, put it in at Palito, and bang, we can finish the job and get to 70. Now, I'm not even talking about the resource growth possibilities at Coringa. Coringa is a completely undrilled deposit. We've got 500,000 ounces there, and I think that can be doubled. And when you double that resource, you can increase the production rate even more, and we actually go one step further. So it's first pass, get to 60. Second pass, get to 75. Next pass, through 100, organically.
Because organically is the key there, because I think there's a lot of kind of cash-strapped companies out there. There's a lot of companies raising expensive capital, even if they're downsizing their expansion plans or build plans. It's really tough out there. So organic is good. Those sorts of targets are good. In a high-priced gold environment like this, margins are good. And then there's a question of what do you do with that? I think you've given us a clue. Exploration is the blue sky to this.
It is. And brownfield exploration at Palito and at Coringa, we're spending about 10 million reais this year, so $2 million, which is quite modest. Well, I tell you, we're spending what money all our cash we're generating this year is doing this build at Coringa, right?
Yeah.
What we've got left is brownfield exploration.
Right.
With this gold price, we're getting a little bit more than we thought, so therefore we can do a bit more brownfield exploration. Yeah. That's all part of this plan to actually double the resource at Palito from 500,000 to 1 million, or maybe get to 750. It's more difficult at Palito, admittedly. Coringa, I think it's pretty easy. I think we can go from 500,000 to 1 million a lot simpler. So that's what the brownfield will focus on. Now, with a bigger resource base, maybe getting to 1.5 million ounces first, we can support a bigger business plan, a bigger throughput, and all of those things. And but I keep saying, I'm a bit crazy about ore sorting. I always have this saying, grade pays and tons cost. So we're chasing quality always. What we're trying to do here is feed that process plant with the best quality ore we possibly can. So that's our mantra. That's our thing.
Do you feel back in control again?
Yeah, I think so. No, I think the fact we got the permit for 3 years in February was a huge endorsement from all the authorities in Brazil and support for us. So I feel, absolutely.
Come on.
Thank you.
Cheers, man.